Lynn, let's not forget the president himself has been very critical of the country. Here are just a few of the examples.
How stupid is our country?
We are so far behind the time. And by the way, the world is laughing at us because they can't believe these policies.
How stupid are the people of Iowa? How stupid are the people of the country?
Putin's a killer. A lot of killers. We got a lot of killers. Why, you think our country's so innocent?
Lynn, he keeps saying these women hate the country. That's why he's, on the attack against them. But, I mean, we just showed you he's been very critical of what's happening in the country. He can do it, but others can't?
Well, don't look for consistency. Yes, he's a hypocrite on this issue. And the real damage that he's doing here is that he is not really walking it back. And I don't think we should be kidding ourselves just because he says some words and his lips were moving. He still was sending a signal, a dog whistle. If you put it together between what he said and said again, and the tweets, there is really no real reason to believe that he's not letting his supporters who want to chant send her back, chant that they wouldn't do it again. Nothing he has done since then shows you that he firmly wants to tell his followers this is wrong. This is not so. No one gets sent back. And the criticism that you just showed in those clips, that he is allowed to be critical and no one wants to send him back to Scotland, where his mother is from, is just something that I hope the next person that interviews him asks. You were critical of the United States, Mr. President. Should you have gone to Scotland?
Well, he was asked about his double standard. Our Abby Phillip asked him essentially the same question I asked. Let's listen.
Why is it okay for you to criticize America but not Democratic Congress?
I believe all people are great people. I believe everyone is great, but I love our country.
All people are great people, but he doesn't seem to feel that way about these 4 Democratic women of color, Wes.
Well, sure. I mean, I think that when you understand the president's comments in the context of American history and the way that these types of, not just chants, but this precise argument that if people of color aren't grateful for being here, if they're not glad that you got to come to America, that we're letting you in now, that you have all these rights, then you should just go somewhere else. It speaks to this historical grapple over who gets to be an American, who has full citizenship, who is fully enfranchised. You have to remember, we're a nation that it's only been 50 or 60 years where people who look like me even get to vote in our elections, where people who look like Lynn or you, Anna, get to vote in our elections, right? This isn't a country that historically has fully enfranchised all of its people, and that for generations there has been an ideology that says people who are different, people who aren't white, should just be grateful to be here, and they shouldn't complain. They shouldn't complain about the police shooting them. They shouldn't complain about the lynchings. They shouldn't complain about their lack of education. And if they do that, they don't love America and they should go. And so do I think the president, who is certainly no scholar of American history, is sitting here thinking about all of this? No. But his reaction to these women, these outspoken women who've been critical of the country, but who serve their country as elected officials, is the same response that outspoken people of color have always gotten in this country when they've had the audacity to say things here are unfair or things here could be better.
Such a good point.